So I wanted to post a follow-up visit to my popular how to build a cheap $20 compost bin to just show you how great these can work. I don't think I really showed in that video the compost that was already done and the compost that was recently added, and just to kind of show you the progress of things. But this is the first bin that I created last year, and then this one I created a little later in the year. This summer, or spring, I'm sorry, I wanted to obviously use compost in my garden. So what I did was I shoveled things over from this bin to this bin and got a bunch of usable compost out of here. And then I added a bunch more food scraps and paper waste and whatnot to this bin, and then shovel more over here. In turn, then I end up with usable compost down here that I can take out. So if you have these two bins, then you can kind of go back and forth and constantly have a supply of usable compost underneath the stuff that's currently decomposing. I did see another video of someone that did bins like this with garbage cans, and they were saying to put the bin on the ground and roll it. Well, that's nearly impossible because the bin is very, very heavy once it gets filled with stuff. And it's also the lid's going to pop open and you're making a god-awful mess all over your lawn. So I do not take that suggestion. And with just using my pitchfork to move things back and forth and to smother things that I've newly added to my bin, I've never had a problem with things not breaking down. One interesting thing I did find in this bin today as I went to go get some usable compost in was this. And it was a plastic bag with some... The carrots had obviously well decomposed, but somehow this got into my bin. And obviously it was quite easy to find because it's the only thing that didn't break down. So as you add things to your bin, make sure you don't do something stupid like this. I must have tossed this on top of my stuff to be dumped into the bin, thinking I would then dump the stuff out of the plastic bag, but then I ended up dumping it right into the bin. So I'm not sure. This may have been down there for an entire year. So obviously plastic does not decompose and you do not want it in your compost bin. One thing you do want to add is your coffee grounds. Coffee grounds are really high in nutrients that are great for the soil. And if you use these little Kcups, they can be quite wasteful. But what you want to do to compensate for that is that you want to take the coffee grounds out of there, put the coffee grounds into your compost bin. Look for the cups that, and this will be kind of trial and error as you buy them. Sorry, I'm doing this as I'm holding the phone because there's only one of me. You want to pull out the cloth filter that's inside of these, because this cloth filter is completely biodegradable, so that can be added to the bin as well. Then you can just take these little cups, and the cup itself can go into your plastic recycling. Now I tend to 90% of the time I don't use these. I use a refillable K-cup for my coffee maker. So if you can use that, use that. Otherwise, at least recycle put the coffee in your bin, recycle this little liner. If it ends up the little liner, the little filter in here is plastic, then just recycle both those pieces. And best if you pull them apart, it's easier for them in recycling. So here's some things, and I'm not going to be able to do this too easy because I'm only one-handed, but to show you what I was talking about is that here's all kinds of stuff. We got peanut shells, we got torn up paper towel rolls, we've got some tissues, we've got some grapefruit rinds and orange rinds, we've got some coffee grounds. So we're going to dump all that in there. And then we're going to simulate shoveling. Obviously, I'm just using my hands here. But the idea is to smother what you've just added. Because what you're also doing is you're moving some of your nice little worms over from the one bin to the other that are currently feeding on what's in this bin. So, obviously, this takes a lot less time if I could shovel, but I'm doing this one-handed. But you get the idea. You're going to want to just completely cover this up. And then once this is all covered up, then things will start breaking down a lot faster than if you just left the new items in here without covering them up. Then in turn, over here, as you'll see, in moving this compost over, I've then revealed usable compost that I can put right into the garden. So it's pretty awesome having the two bins. I don't know why I survived an entire season with just one bin. But now that I have two, it's amazing. I've got so much compost. Things are growing like mad. My potatoes are looking awesome already. I'll do some updated garden videos in probably another week or two. It's just starting to get warm out. Oh, and look at, here you go. Here's some of our little friends that move into the compost bin. Here's one of our nice little worms. And I see all kinds of cool little like microbes and stuff in here. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, see, there's some kind of little critter. But yeah, they do a great job at breaking this down, and you know that you've got the right mix of things in here when you've got a healthy amount of worms that have joined in the party. So have fun, happy composting. Oh, another thing I wanted to add, if you had cranberries, I found that they are really, really, really slow to decompose. So pop them first, and then they'll decompose much faster. When I dug this out, I found all these cranberries down towards the bottom that had been there since Christmas, and I thought it was really funny that 5 months later they still look just as good as they did, slightly rotten, but not the least bit decomposed. So happy composting.